Hi guys, and welcome back to a new video. Usually when I'm sitting here means that I'm going to talk to you about something. As you can see by the title of this video is going to be about how I lost 65 pounds of baby weight. But first, I want to show you some exercises. We're going to go to the gym and we're going to be doing chest and back. If you like this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up to support my channel, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a video. Without further ado, let's get started, and I will see you right after this workout. So we're going to be talking about my weight loss today. I have only told you that I lost 65 pounds, but I've never told you how I lost them. So I thought I would make a video about this. Before getting into today in my life, I want to start off to where I started. So growing up, I was generically skinny. I would mainly eat food at home, cooked by my mom or grandma. I rarely had any fast food as a child. Body positivity didn't affect me until later on in my life. Back in Central America, the lifestyle is a bit different. Bright and fresh vegetables are grown literally in your backyard and consumed in abundance. My parents, they had 2 coffee trees in their front yard, mango trees, and we also had a cacao tree, which is the fruit where chocolate comes from. In Central America, food is meant to be enjoyed with family and friends. Almost all dishes include some form of black beans, white rice, and handmade corn tortillas. Breakfast often combines the aforementioned elements, with scrambled eggs and fried plantains. Fresh fruit is another common staple. As you can see, the traditional diet is mainly healthy. So I wasn't really aware or concerned of how my body looked when I was younger. I lived a very active life. I was a member of my church dance group. I liked playing soccer and basketball at school. I'm going to show you some pictures of me when I was younger so you can see how I looked prior to having kids. As I mentioned on my Get to Know Me Q&A video, I moved to New York in my early teens and my life changed completely. I went on to eating fast food 6 times a week. I would mainly eat Chinese food, New York pizza with mushrooms and broccoli and extra cheese, and I would drink soda. My mom didn't have time to cook for us, and we would spend a lot of our time in her business, and she would mainly buy food, and it was fast food. My diet went from okay or good back in Central America to a lot of fast food, and it was 6 times a week. So I noticed within the first year of me living in New York, I went up 2 sizes of my jeans. I went from being a 0 to being a 2, and sometimes I would fit on the size 4 of pants. But I was pretty comfortable with my body. It's not that it bothered me or anything like that. So I went on to middle school and high school, and I didn't consider myself skinny or overweight. I consider myself average. So in my sophomore year, I started dance. I became a dance member, and my life came back to being active. I was going after school for dance practice. I would do a lot of activities during dance, and I would also be like always on the go, going to my job. There was a point that I had 4 jobs, but that was like for summer school. But for the regular school year, I had 1 job. I would go to my school. As soon as I got off school, I would go into work. And I remember a lot of my schoolmates back in New York, they will be so happy to have the weekend coming. It's Friday, and I knew that as soon as the weekend came, I had to go to work. I would get up at 4 in the morning sometimes. I worked at this Italian restaurant. First, I started as they call it a busboy, where there's this very elegant restaurant, Italian restaurant. And I was the girl that would take your coat. And at the end of the night, if you wanted to, you left me a tip. There were times that I had almost $400 tip. I remember one time this customer, he just gave me $100 just because I took care of his coat for like an hour. And so I did make a lot of money, but that's another story. So while I was at Jeanette here in Texas, I I kept on being active and my eating was not on track. I would still eat a lot of cheeseburgers, french fries. I'm not that big on donuts, but I would eat like a lot of greasy things. And I don't think it showed on my body that much because I was very active. It mainly showed like in, like on my face, which is very unfortunate. Yeah, I was that kind of teenager that if I ate unhealthy, I wouldn't really show it in my body, but I would show it in my face, if you know what I mean. So, um, on my senior year, I was still dancing for the South Houston High School, and I watched this movie on my cooking class, and it changed my life completely. And the movie is called Super Size Me. I don't know if you've heard about it, but I'm here sitting down watching this movie, and it made me literally hate junk food. That day, I made a decision that I was not going to eat no more junk food. And so I didn't really continue with that lifestyle. I wasn't very healthy, but I was trying to cook more at home and take my own lunch to work. And I would make better choices when it came to eating out. And so I graduated. About 2 months after I graduated from high school, I went through a very bad breakup. It was literally the first real relationship. And my world just came, it crashed. It took me almost 2 years, about a year and 6 months, to get over the pain and the suffering that I was going through. And during that period of time, I lost so much weight. I went down to 80 pounds. And it was a scary 80 pounds because I looked bony. My sister, she was a little bit scared of my health. But it's not that I was not wanting, like I wanted to maintain this certain look. No, it was just that I was just not hungry. And it's because I was going through that process in my life of that breakup. And I just would eat maybe one time a day. And that one time a day would mainly be dinner time. And it would be around 10 o'clock. So I did drop pounds on a very unhealthy way. And I wasn't even aware of it. I noticed that the zero size pants would be too big for me. And that's when I started to notice, yes, this is a little worrisome. And my mom, she was a little worried about me. But little by little, God, He took me out of that pain that I was in. And it was a very hard year and a half in my life. So God finally healed me, and I came into this moment, and I told myself that I needed to make a change. I needed to just not disappoint my mom or myself, and that life goes on. That just because I had that breakup, that my life didn't end. That I was still young. I was 19 years old. And that God knew better than I. So I was trusting God. And I decided to go into college. About a year and a half after graduating, I started my career on registered nurse. So I was a full-time college student. And I had a part-time job. And slowly I kind of started being a little bit healthier. I went up to like 90 pounds. And then I was like in the middle of the year of my studying, and I met my husband. And he just opened up a new perspective of my life. I wasn't just going with the waves. I wasn't just going, on my everyday life. I was actually starting to live my life again, because I started to feel loved again. And what a great feeling when you feel loved, when somebody loves you. And so I started to notice myself more, and I wanted to look better because I wanted to be liked better by my now husband. And I started to think, I started to desire to eat healthier and to have a healthy weight. So I decided to do some changes in my life, in my diet. I started to eat a little bit healthier. I started to care about what I put in my tummy. And I wanted to do some exercises as well. So I started with a little bit of weight training. And then I got more into it. And I continue. And then I liked how I felt. And I liked how I looked. And I liked that my now husband liked how I looked too. So I went back to being a fit person. And finally we got married almost 2 years after we dated. And we were so happy. And 1 year later, we got the amazing surprise that we were expecting our first child. And I was so happy. I just didn't know what to expect. I made sure I follow what the doctor said, not to drink soda, and to eat a lot of vegetables. So I ate a lot of vegetables, a lot of dairy. I do like milk, because I just wanted to have a healthy baby. And I did. I have my first child. She was 9 pounds, 12 ounces, 23 inches long. And she was pretty big for my body frame. She was a huge baby. And then the year after, I got pregnant with my second one. And so for 4 years in a row, I was pregnant. I had my babies back to back. And I wanted it that way. And yes, my body, as you can imagine, went from being fit to really big. And then I would lose the weight a little bit and then get big again. And so it was like my body was just kept on getting big and small. And I was okay with that because I knew it was part of the process of being pregnant. I love my curves. I love my giant belly. At first, at the beginning of all my pregnancies, my belly started off as a football. It was just like a football. It was just pointy. So this is how I lost the 65 pounds of baby weight this year. The first thing that I did was I started breastfeeding my baby. I started pumping my milk every 3 hours. When you breastfeed, you lose a lot of calories, and that helped me a lot on losing this extra weight that I had. My milk was very thick, very rich. It was very creamy. The second thing that I did was I started adding high protein food to every meal that I would eat. I would make sure that each meal that I had a good source of protein and healthy fats with it as well. No matter what, on every meal, I would add protein, and I would also add healthy fats. I would also start my mornings with a full glass of water, and I would add some lemon drops. And that also, I noticed that it helped me, like it would take bloating away. And within a week, I started to notice that I was dropping off the pounds, and that was exciting for me. The third thing that I did, it comes with the passion that I have for fitness. I started to move around more. I stopped sitting down so much, and I started to be more active once again. And I started to do weight training. Not heavy, but I started with things that I could do. I did a little bit of cardio as well. I completely let go of sugary drinks and replaced them with pure water and almond milk, sometimes green tea. I also remember that I would drink chai tea. Very delicious, by the way. I didn't want to be that kind of mom that would let go of herself. I wanted to be a strong mom. I want to be a strong mom for my kids and myself as well. I didn't want to get too comfortable. I want to keep on being an attractive wife for my husband. And I want to physically be strong and mentally as well. So for someone that is trying to start to eat healthier and lose weight, I recommend coming up with a lifestyle that is sustainable to your day-to-day life. Think about your goals and plans. Ask yourself, what is your goal? What are you trying to achieve? And work towards that goal. And stay committed to the whole plan. In order to lose excess fat, a lot of things have to work together. Crowd processed junk food out of your diet. Cutting on sugar and processed food too. And if I could really give you a single advice to commit your mind into to lose weight, it would be to join a physical activity, to live an active life. Even if you lose focus from dieting and exercising, that physical activity will keep your body fit. And guys, this is the end of my video. Unfortunately, I tried to keep it as short as possible. I want you to know that you can do it. You can lose the weight and you can look fit and healthy. And I am so excited for your journey. I'm so excited for mine. And we are here in this together. And with God's grace, we are going to make it. In everything, I like to let God know about my plans, for Him to know and help me and give me His guidance, because He gives us the resources. And sometimes He just puts there, everything there, just for us to get our hands onto doing things. He gives us ideas. He puts people around us. He gives us the resources, and it's our job to do it. It's our job. I appreciate your time. Thank you for listening, and I will see you back on my next video.